Guys, welcome to the Powerhouse Mentality training every Monday night at 7:30 to 7:45, depending on how long the client call goes before this, Central Standard Time. Giving you guys a different topic each week. So one week, it's usually nutrition and training focused, recovery focused, something along the scienciness of accomplishing your goals. And then the next week, we go into a mindset concept. And that's what today's is going to be on. Mindset. But before I get into it, I want to go and pull this up on my computer so that I make sure that I can read the comments, because good old Facebook doesn't let me see the comments on my phone. And if you know, if I'm doing something wrong, let me know, because I always want to be able to make this experience better for you guys. All right, we're going to mute it. Hello. Now I can see people who are here. Hello, Christina. Hello, Sarah. Both of y'all coming back from an epic weekend. Christina, shouting you out because you and your partner took second place at a competition on Saturday. Shout out to you. Traveled 3 hours for that. Hell yes. Sarah coming back from her first Summer Smash at First Form. If you haven't been to Summer Smash, holy shit, you need to go to Summer Smash next year. It's the most unbelievable experience. I'm very sad that I wasn't able to be there this year, but I will absolutely not be there, or not be there next year, because I will not be missing that. I had major, what do they call it? FOMO? Fear of missing out. I had major FOMO. All right, but first, before we get into the topic, I want to just address two little, housekeeping, we'll call it. What the fuck are balloons popping up for? That's weird. Anyway, for those of you listening on the audio on the podcast, for some reason, balloons just popped up on my screen. I hope that you guys got to enjoy that on the Facebook Live. But, so, a little bit of housekeeping. Number one, the spicy Metcon of the week is up, and it is spicy. All right, so it's an EMOM of 20 minutes, which is every minute on the minute. First minute, you're going to do 40 seconds of a wall sit. It is not weighted. It is body weight. Believe me, when you do a wall sit, you don't need much weight at all. All right? Second minute is as many air squats as possible. So as many body weight squats as you can possibly get in that minute, and then you go right back in it. So you're going to have 10 rounds, and you're going to accumulate as many air squats as you possibly can in that even minute. And let me tell you, it's going to be a nice little leg burner. Now, for every time you break on the wall sit, though, because I know that that's going to get a little bit spicy, you're going to subtract 5 reps from your total air squats. So I would advise you not to break up the wall sit if you can. So that's number one. Now, if you want to submit your score for a spicy Metcon and get yourself on the leaderboard and even win, that would be epic, because what do you win? We don't know yet. We're going to figure it out. But you get to win the recognition of being able to kick ass. Now, the purpose of the spicy Metcon is to get uncomfortable. These workouts aren't going to be easy, because we aren't about handouts. We aren't about babying you guys. We want to make you better, and the only way to make you better is to get you outside of your comfort zone. So like I said on the post earlier, yes, it will be comfortable. Yes, it will be tough, but you can handle it, and it will make you better both physically and mentally. That is the purpose behind the spicy Metcon, but also to give you guys a little bit of competition that you can do on a weekly basis that isn't going to be like a 1 rep max back squat or a 1 rep max whatever or a myo PR. We want to give you something fun, creative, and to get you outside your comfort zone. In order to submit those videos, what you need to do is send an email with the video, making sure that the clock is visible in the background so that we know you did it right, to thepowerhousementality@gmail.com. That is my email. If you need anything at all, always send me an email too. But second piece of housekeeping, if you're interested in starting 75 hard, Stone started 75 hard today. Joey started 75 hard alongside him. So those two are going to be rocking it out for the next 75 days and trying to get in the best shape, both physically and mentally possible. And if you want to become part of that, if you don't know what 75 hard is, go ahead, comment on Stone's post that he threw up in the group, and he'll break it down for you and see if it's right for you. It's a mental toughness program focused on making you a fucking weapon. That's literally what it is. But guys, let's get into the topic of the day. So the title of this video is Stepping Over $100 Bills to Pick Up Pennies. And I'll get into what that means, but I'm sure you've probably heard something along those lines before, or maybe you've even heard that concept. You could also call it majoring in the minors, or dropping boulders to pick up pebbles. Now, this all comes from a big concept. The concepts are few, but the methods are many. So, for example, if the concept is, I want to lose weight, that means you need to follow the concept of being in a calorie deficit. So lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit, meaning you have to eat less than you're burning. That's just basic thermodynamics and science. You can't get past that. But the methods to create that calorie deficit there are so many that go into it, right? You can do low carb, low fat, high fat, carnivore, keto, intermittent fasting, tracking macros. You can do so many different things in order to create that calorie deficit. You can build more muscle in order to teach your body how to burn more calories at rest. You can just do a fuck ton of cardio and lose muscle, and that's not a good long-term thing, but I mean, if you want to do it right now, go for it, and then you'll live and you'll learn. But the methods are many, and the concepts are few. Now, a lot of people are stepping over $100 bills to pick up pennies. They're majoring in the minors. They're dropping boulders to pick up pebbles. So, an example of that would be, we'll bring intermittent fasting back into this. Say you've heard that intermittent fasting is going to help you create the calorie deficit, create that method to make that concept real so you could lose weight. But what if you just like eating a big ass breakfast and you want to eat as soon as you wake up? So if you're focused so heavily on intermittent fasting, which would be the penny, then you're stepping over the $100 bills, which is just fucking tracking your macros and being consistent with hitting those numbers. What happens is that a lot of people get distracted by all of the methods, all of the things, that they miss out on the actual concept. And they make the concept more difficult than it needs to be. Social media fitness influencers, because anybody can call themselves a fucking fitness professional nowadays on social media, and quite frankly, it's fucking disgusting. But we won't get into that. Anyway, social media fitness influencers spend so much of their time arguing about these pennies, right? They're arguing about, should you eat this at this time? Or should you do fasted cardio? Should you do that? Like all these little nuances that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things, because it doesn't matter if all of these little things come together if you have no fucking cake to put that icing on, right? So think of it like this. A lot of social media fitness influencers are arguing about the pennies when they should be educating you, the people, on the $100 bills. And that's why you should be focused on habits and behavior changes to create the life that you want. Because the reality is that the majority of us are on autopilot throughout the day. Literally, you're just doing what you habitually do. It's rare that you're actually putting more thought into what you're doing, because we just lean on our habits, especially when pain and pressure are high. We lean on what we know most, which are our habits. If you know somebody's habits, you can probably make a good prediction of the path that they're on or how successful they are in their life. And that's where consistency comes into play, because that's why it feels so hard when you first start something new, whether it be a new career, whether it be starting a diet, starting a new workout program. It feels like you're forcing it at the beginning, and it feels really challenging because it's not a habit yet. And all you have to do is build that momentum, build up that consistency, stacking wins in order to create the habit, and then it becomes not autopilot, but almost autopilot. I mean, yeah, I have days where I don't want to work out, but there's not a thought in my head that says I'm not going to work out today, because I've done it so habitually that it's just like I'm on autopilot. I just go into the fucking garage gym and I give it everything I have, right? Now, the biggest thing for you to understand when it comes to habit building and behavioral change is that, one, it's not going to be easy, especially at the beginning. So you have to force yourself a little bit into doing those things until you create the momentum and you earn that momentum. And then you're going to mess up, right? That's the most important thing to understand, is that you are going to mess up, but you have to just start walking the path, because paralysis by analysis or over planning kills more dreams than failure ever would. Most of you just have to go. Like, you actually just have to do something. You have to take action, and you have to understand that it's not always going to be perfect action. I mean, perfection is honestly bullshit. So instead of thinking about taking perfect action, think about taking messy action. Reevaluate, then take action again. Because action cures everything. It does. If you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling depressed, usually it has to do with the fact that you're procrastinating on something that you know has to be done. Little things. So think of it like bad decisions, right? Bad decisions lead to learning most of the time. You make the decision to learn from a bad decision. Like, oh, I'm not going to do that again, right? Or, oh, I'll do it this way next time. Whereas with an indecision, you literally learn nothing and nothing changes. So it's better to make a decision. It's better to take action and have it be, like a fuck up than just not do anything. And a lot of people are thinking, okay, yeah, I get that. I need to take action, but I need to gather all of this information and I need to make this plan before I take action. I get that. Like, you can gather information, you can plan, but there becomes a point where your gathering of information and your planning is just becoming an excuse to not do the thing. So think about that. Because complexity is the enemy of success. So keep it simple. Don't overthink all of these concepts. And understand that fear sells. So if somebody's trying to scare you on social media because of what they're preaching, because broccoli is going to kill us all, according to Paul Saladino, don't listen. Listen to you. Do your research, but understand that, you have to take action at some point. And Sarah's preaching it in the comments. Do it. Jump all in. And I'm going to tell a quick story about Sarah, and she may not like this, but I'm going to tell it anyway. So, Sarah and I have been working together for 2 years. And the thing about Sarah is that the first time we got on a call, I literally, when we hung up, I remember leaving my office and going into the kitchen where Stone was cooking dinner, and she was my last call of the night. And I remember saying to him, holy shit, I am so excited to work with her because I'm going to change her life. And I was crying. I am not even kidding. Ask Stone. I remember this so vividly. And a couple weeks ago, she's been going through a whole lot of shit, big journey. And she's made so many changes. And she had this breakthrough a couple weeks ago where she finally did something that she has wanted to do for so long, and that's leave the job that was causing so much toxicity in her life and pursue what she is truly passionate about, and that's traveling. And so she booked a one-way ticket to London. Now, she does have a return flight now to go to a wedding, but she booked a one-way ticket to London, and she was fucking terrified to book that ticket. Sarah, you can just say it in the comments how fucking scared you are to this day. She always sends me memes and says, I'm going to throw up. She's not going to throw up. She's going to thrive. But that was a terrifying decision for her. I know it was. But she was sick of not deciding. So she fucking decided. And when you make a decision, it is then your choice to make it the right decision through your actions. You're not going to throw up. So take Sarah's story and apply it to whatever it is in your life that you've been putting off because you're too afraid to take action. If you jump all in on this thing, you will succeed. Will you mess up? Will you fuck up? Will you fall on your face? Will it hurt sometimes? Absolutely. Right now, I'm pursuing going to the CrossFit Games within the next 3 to 4 years. If you told me that I was pursuing this 3 years ago, I would have said, you're stupid. I would never do something so stupid because it's impossible. Look at how fucking small I am. But I'm going to give it everything I got. And I'm literally all in on this. There were moments where I was in, out. Now I'm fucking all in. And the moment that I made that shift to jump all in is the moment that everything changed. So understand that if you go all in on something, you will not make it. And even if something happens and you don't make it, guess what? Because some people fucking don't make it. Not everybody can be a professional athlete. Not everybody can be a CEO. Not everybody can get the promotion. However, you're going to achieve greatness no matter what, because you're putting everything into the life that you have. So understand that you have to master your habits. That's how you become successful. The little things are the things that matter the most. The best athletes in the world who are the best at their sport, we'll take Kobe Bryant, for example, R.I.P., but the fucking GOAT, Michael Jordan, those two men worked on jump shots, layups, dribbling, passing. They didn't take time to fucking practice the fancy dunks because they understand that the foundations are what deliver results, and the foundations and pounding those foundations are what matters most. There's a quote, and this is where I'll leave you because this quote is fucking great. I've heard it so many times. I'll probably mess it up. But you shouldn't fear the man who practices thousands of kicks one time. You should fear the man who practices one kick thousands of times. Be that person. Practice that one kick thousands of times. Master your habits. Master your life. Thanks, guys, for chiming in tonight. If you need anything at all, comment down below. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Go out and do one thing today that's going to take you one step closer to where you want to be.